People like to believe that the people that we call Afrocentrists and pro-blacks are those people in the black community that are more self-loving or less self-hating than the other black people. But I found that this is not entirely true. There is the conscious mind and there is the subconscious mind. We know this. There are parts of the conscious mind that is more subconscious than other parts. And there's parts of the subconscious that is more conscious than other parts. This means that there's going to be parts of the subconscious that is we are somewhat more aware of than other parts, because the other deeper layers of the subconscious are going to be more hidden, and sometimes becomes what you could call the unconscious, or the unconscious mind, or a part of the unconscious mind. Now, say this is the mind itself. This is the conscious mind, and this is the subconscious. Subconscious is usually bigger than the conscious, because that's where we store all the truth of what we are that is hidden, that is suppressed, that we don't want people to know about us. Now, in the conscious mind are different layers, right? These are the layers, right? I'm going to assume that the deeper you go, the bigger they're going to be. So this is what separates the conscious from the subconscious. Within the subconscious are layers again. And it goes and goes all the way down to more unconscious aspects of the subconscious. Now, when we're dealing with Afrocentric pro-black people, we're dealing with people who are aware of more a more conscious part of their subconscious. So if the self-hatred is somewhere here, right? Or here, because it's closer to the conscious mind, it's easy for them to realize that it's there. Okay? So this is a self-hatred. Some people's self-hatred are more conscious, will be somewhere here, and some people's are way down here. So with the Afrocentric and pro-black people, they, for some reason, are able to detect their self-hatred, which is probably somewhere on in a higher part of the subconscious right here, because it's closer to the conscious mind. And because they could do that, they can allow another part of their mind to disguise this self-hatred, to cover it, to hide it, and replace it with replacing this with conscious self-love or black pride. Okay, so they replace that with the Afrocentrism and the pro-blackness and the black pride and the self-declared self-love. So this is where, like I said before, another part of the mind recognizes the self-hate and the black shame. And then another part of the mind comes in and disguises and covers the shame and the self-hate with an extreme opposite, which is a black pride and a pro-blackness. Okay. The reason why they're disguising it is because they have this shame of being black, which we all have, which all black people tend to have, because we all are made up of the same energy, and we all have this global culture of parenting and exposed to a world that leads us to cause us this automatic thing that causes us to carry self-hatred to all parts of ourselves, including our blackness, right? So they have that, and then they're ashamed of it. They became ashamed of it because maybe somebody in their childhood, or somebody that they valued, somebody that meant something to them, made them feel like feeling that way about your blackness is wrong, or feeling that way about yourself is wrong. And so they have that shame. It creates this shame that they feel this ashamedness for their blackness. And then there is the shame for feeling that shame, because there's always a kind of a shame that comes with being ashamed. It's like whenever you're ashamed of something, it's wrong to feel ashamed of it, because shame is weakness. That's how we perceive shameness and shame in this life. So we cover that, we become ashamed of that shame. And most of the time in this case, it's because we've been taught that to not love our blackness or to not love the black culture is self-hating, and it's a betrayal and a sellout of your own people. Um, and that comes with with penalties and consequences which we don't want to face. So these pro-blacks, they fool everyone into thinking that they are more self-loving or they are less self-hating than other black people. But like I said, this is not entirely true. They just are more aware of a certain part of their subconscious, a higher part of their subconscious mind where the self-hate is. So now another part of their subconscious can go in and do this action of covering and disguising and suppressing that self-hatred and replacing it with a conscious output of black pride and self-declared self-interest and Afrocentrism and I love my people and all this other shit. The next thing we should really know is that what we call pride and pride in general is not always true pride. Most of the time, what pride is a reaction formation for shame. Most of the time, pride and shame are the same things.